David, a game that felt very much like a 0-0 that's gone away for us in the end. What was your take on today's game?
For the first 45, we were very passive on and off the ball. I think we allowed too many balls in our box. I thought we were clearing our lines, we were really, really poor in terms of getting on the first contact. That first contact, getting a decent clearance, we were dropping it into midfield areas, there was no height in it, no power in it, we're giving away throw-ins, which then led to a corner, or we're giving away corners. So the amount of balls that we allowed into our box in the first half, from basics in football, actually going winning your headers or getting a good foot, a good clearance, a good contact on the ball. I was disappointed, it was frustrating in the first half, and then we lose a goal from it. The goal, it's probably 3 or 4 variables within the lead up to the goal that we can do better. I think we can get more pressure on the ball initially, down the left-hand side, their left-hand side. It leads to a corner. The corner then comes in the box and goes out to our left-hand side. And then Ryan Duncan, who's left-footed, then we allow him to put a ball in our box. When we spoke about it during the week, we don't allow that to happen. We allow it to happen. I think Big Ayo doesn't get a clean contact on it, but really that was the story of the first half for most of the players. And then the man that's marking Miovski switches off because the corner he's marking, then he spins for that one and Miovski peels off him. So disappointing, but I think we've got to do better with the contact. Got to do better with in terms of the contact on Miovski also, because there was a man assigned to mark him, and that's from the corner, so that doesn't happen either. We're not getting tight to him. And then I think Stephen Bradley's got to do a little bit better with Ryan Duncan, don't allow him to put a ball in our box. So the story of the first half for me was there wasn't a lot of football for either team. They were really direct, probably a little bit more direct than I thought they were going to be. Kind of played into their hands slightly because it was a battle. First half was just a battle. Never really got a chance to put our foot in the ball and play. I think they won that battle in the first half. Second half I made changes, try and match up slightly. I thought we were a little bit better. We have one cleared off the line, and really that's the story of the game. They take their chance, we have one cleared off the line, so there's not a lot there to go with. We were a bit better in the second half. We defended our 18-yard box a bit better. Never really created any real problems for Aberdeen in their final third, but I don't think they really created any problems for us in and around the 18-yard box, both teams.
Do you think that's the most frustrating aspect? There's probably only been 2 big chances, one for each team. They've taken theirs and Joel's seen his cleared off the line.
Probably, but what I would say, I think there's 3 or 4 different variables within their goal that we can do better, whereas Joel's worked it quite well to get that opportunity. There's a lot they could do better in terms of the cover and the drop the line and then they clear it. We've got to do better for the initial corner. We've got to get more pressure on the ball. Then we've got to do better with when it gets over hit and it lands on our left-hand side. We've got to stop the ball coming back in our box. Then we've got to get a better contact on the clearance, and then the clearance falls to their man, and we've got to be tighter when we're marking. So there's 3 or 4 parts of that we should do better. Whereas you can probably say Aberdeen did do it better in terms of the opportunity that came our way, in terms of the dropping to clear the ball off the line. So it beats the keeper, but there's a man there, so the desire was probably there, and I think that was missing a wee bit in the second half. Just that wee bit of desire, that wee bit of aggression. But it was kind of basic football today, like formations and patterns of play. They kind of go out the window. You've just got to get back to basics and win your headers, win your tackles, get tight to your opponent, and I don't think we've done that well enough the first half, and we lose a goal because of it. Then second half, I think Aberdeen probably defended their 18-yard box a little bit better than us today. So you could say the finish is down to Miovski, but I think we give him that opportunity. And then you look at the clearance for Joel, they defend their area a wee bit better than what we did today, and really that's about the story of the game. No, there's not a lot more I can say to the game in terms of tactical. I tried to change it. I put Big Ayo up front because we had to go a wee bit more direct. Put Ayo up front for 8 minutes. Got a couple of half decent entries into the final third, but nothing special. But it never really clicked for us up top today in terms of whatever we were playing a 2 or playing a 3. It never really quite clicked today. But hand in heart, I think that was probably a wee bit more down to Aberdeen than ourselves in terms of our players in the offensive areas. I thought it was more down to Aberdeen's centre-half pairings, because I thought the three of them were very, very good. They were very, very aggressive and they got great contacts on their clearances.
Must frustrate the life out of you at times, certainly from our perspective in the gantry. Joe Nibley, time and time again, looks to be fouled over and over and over again, doesn't get the fouls, and then as soon as he engages back
like,
with the defender, it gets a foul against.
One in the second half, this is the one that stuck. It's a wee bit like Tynecastle. Can you remember the foul that leads to the goal, albeit it was in the box at Tynecastle? He's getting fouled in 2 or 3 occasions and he's doing his best to stay up. Now, he's not got control of the ball at that point, he makes a pass, but because he's made a pass, they're saying that he's gained the advantage. I'm saying, but he's not on his own feet, he's stumbling, he's trying to play on, fair play to Joe, but it's up to the referee to blow the whistle at that point. And I just think at times, the referee needs to start blowing the whistle and looking after Joel a wee bit, because it seems to be men hanging off him. And it's never a foul, but as soon as we got up the other end of the park and one of our players makes a tackle, it's a foul. So I think his physique, sometimes referees, they don't protect him maybe as much as they should protect him, but again, I've got to try and probably find a way to get Joel in better areas of the park. But today, Dave, it was no real patterns of play today, no real patterns of play. It was a bit of old school football. I think it was a lot more direct. It's not really Joel's game either, is it? We need to try and get good entries into the final third into Joel's feet. But when they did get the entries, again, you could argue that they defended it fairly well. They probably did. They must have, because the big man had a frustrating day today, didn't he?
They're all big games now, but this time of the season probably even bigger than usual. Next week back at home to Hibs at the Tony Mac. Another chance to get back in that top 6 and amongst the teams in and around us. Results 7th.
So, 6th, Aberdeen. No, I thought we'd have been goal difference with him.
Aberdeen on goals scored.
Goals scored, so not
same goal difference. So Hibs at home next week. Chance to really bounce back in against another team in and around us in that race for the top 6.
I think it's difficult going through a wee sticky spell now. That's 2 or 3 games where we've not been able to get the win, we've not been able to get a goal, but it's my job to fix that. But I think it will slip us by very, very quickly if we don't start performing. I think today got a better second half performance, but the first half I don't think the performance levels were there. Again, very similar, a wee bit naive in the box. Rangers game, a wee bit naive. So we need to get back to winning ways very, very quickly. But we're in and around where we want to be, and it's up to ourselves. It's up to me to find a way to try and pick points up as quick as possible. There was 8 games there's 24 points available to try and pick up a points total that I feel probably gets us top 6. There's 7 games available now to get the points total that I feel will get us top 6. So Hibs are probably a team in form. Fair to say they're probably one of the teams in form. They're decent. I think it's starting to click for them. And it'll be a difficult game. But we'll be up for it, and it'll be an opportunity to go and try and get 3 points this Saturday.
Perfect.